Welcome back to today's crypto market update. Trump is letting everyone know in Tehran that they should evacuate immediately, while we're getting breaking news that U.S. officials confirm Middle East-based forces remain in defensive posture and that the U.S. is not yet participating in strikes against Iran, which is good. Now, there's other news outside of that in regards to Pump.Fun. The Pump.Fun account was suspended due to court orders. Anyone using the site to dev tokens and or orchestrate pump and dumps will be held legally responsible. And it's laughable because the guy that runs the account is asking for $17 back from his yearly blue check mark the gold check mark on X. After the guy walked away with like how many millions of dollars? Another bit of interesting news, crypto group Tron, as in Justin Sun's Tron, is going to go public on the U.S. stock market after U.S. pauses probe into billionaire founder. And this is crazy. U.S. listing confirmed. There's one more bit of news, too, to make things even more exciting today, because you didn't have enough excitement. The Bank of Japan is releasing some numbers today, which will determine if the Bank of Japan will enter into a phase of quantitative easing, money printing, which really isn't good, but a lot of people, including the folks at Coin Bureau, are really expecting this to have a positive effect on markets. But I mean, we have the positive with the potentially disastrous both at the same time. And yes, just in case you're wondering, the stop loss hunting alert has been firing. Yesterday, it fired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. No, it's not broken. Yes, it's that crazy right now. So let's go over to the charts and talk about what we're seeing. For one, there was quite a big pullback. This is actually when Trump posted that everyone should evacuate Tehran, or rather Iran, but Tehran, the city, and BTC fell down. Now, short-term panics like this are buy-the-dip moments. I still think that we're in a buy-the-dip market. It's not a good feeling to see markets pull back like this. But on the daily time frame, BTC actually moved up to TBO resistance here at $109,284, and it got rejected. Isn't it just wild that the price just kind of goes up and touches that line, the red dotted line, and then it just goes back down? But the beautiful thing about this close, not the news is all terrible, as always, but the close was above the daily TBO Cloud, like this one and this one. That's great. So we are still waiting on this slow line to curl upward to confirm bullish momentum. Right now, things are quite sticky. But as the Coin Bureau team has said before, if the Bank of Japan switches to quantitative easing, that should actually be very bullish for Bitcoin. And that information comes out at 11 a.m. my time. So based off of this collect down here in about an hour and a half. So we'll see if it has any change on the market. If they switch to QE, they're suspecting that markets will pump. If it's QT, that means it just remains the same and nothing will happen. It'll be a nothing burger. Now, Ethereum is trying its best to shoot up higher. It moved up yesterday 5.68%. Volume was above average, which is good. RSI is slowly starting to curl back upward. On the 4-hour, it's just trying its hardest. Little guy right there is just really trying. Still stuck inside of the weekly TBO Cloud as well. There's no real strength that's apparent in this chart whatsoever, but it is trying and it is leading Bitcoin right now. It's one of the few charts that's green right now, well, at least up a percent, which is interesting. Now, stablecoin dominance has been flip-flopping more than a dead fish on the beach. But the good news is that because BTC had this good start yesterday, on the candle, it dropped below the cloud. It wicked below the cloud, but not close. Now, if we see positive news coming out from the Bank of Japan in terms of quantitative easing, and markets pump, we're going to see stablecoin dominance dump, which will be glorious. On the 4-hour, no real signs to pay attention to other than a close long, but it whipped back up. Bitcoin dominance continues to go higher, actually putting in a higher close yesterday and closing up 0.3%. So still strong bullish on all counts, especially strong bullish on the weekly time frame where we're back to being above 70 on the weekly, which means that this is going to keep ripping up higher. So for all of you that are hoping, waiting, wishing for Bitcoin dominance to dump, I mean, it could pump up here to 65 and get rejected, put in a double top, but don't bet the farm on it. BVOL 7D only closed up marginally again yesterday, 0.65%, even though there was way more volatility. We're just waiting for this to push up higher. And again, a huge pump will happen when there's a lot of volatility. We don't necessarily want a lot of volatility, but that's what it means. Now, before I go any further, I do want to direct your attention over to thebettertraders.com, where you get access to the TBO indicator. The TBO indicator is available with a subscription to the Better Traders Club, which is also included for your first month when you join 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. This is an amazing course that covers both passive and active trading, using bots on all trading, using our free TBT signals on all trading. But the Better Traders Club is the best place to go to get access to the TBO, plus updates from me, watch lists, trade setups. Recently had 2 really good trade setups that closed in the green recently. And there will be many more. So join the Trader 2 to get access. That's one of the best tiers to join. If you are wanting everything, including TBT divergence, that's the Pro tier. Crypto cheapos, starter tiers for you, $1 a month. All right, here we go. Now, we're going to be looking at these other charts for today. The flags or the tags denote specific things that I'm noticing in regards to the TBO indicator or TBT divergence. So the first thing to note is that KAVA is printing yet again another TBO close short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can keep counting. Like, it's insane. What these are telling me is that the price is pent up and it's going to pump. One thing that's very clear, though, with this chart is that there is overhead resistance. I have a sneaking suspicion that it's not going to be perfect. Oh my gosh, it is perfect. Look at that. So my sneaking suspicion is obviously sneaking in the wrong direction because that was right. Now, the real thing that KAVA has to do when it pumps again, not just 6%, it needs to blow these guys away. We'll see. I don't know. We also have this basic support down here to the downside too, which has already been broken. There and there, it's been broken, but it keeps holding. So we could draw it out here if we want to be really generous. So it's a wedge. I mean, anything can happen on this breakout, to be honest. Doesn't have to go down or up, but it's kind of stuck right now. Now, BCH, Bitcoin Cash closed up a little bit yesterday, 0.61%, but it's actually looking good still. And I said this yesterday that it's great for trading because of all the whippy price action. ICP, this one on the 4-hour is in process of printing a TBT bullish divergence signal. Now, if you guys are watching these videos every single day, you know that the slow line's direction really determines the strength of this. This is kind of flat, kind of angling down, and we also still have 3 hours and 18 minutes left until this candle prints, so it could also just as easily disappear, but it is a good reversal signal to pay attention to. Maker, this one actually did really well yesterday, but unfortunately, it did not close above the cloud, even though it pumped up 10%. But the fact that it wicked above the 618 is a positive sign to me. This is essentially a predictive wick in that we see what the price has done. Therefore, we have confidence to go, well, it already did this. It already took out the liquidity up there. So it shouldn't have a hard time going up that level or up to these levels again above the 618. KAIA remains above the 382. Yesterday closed up just under 2%. There is new resistance here at 0.1590. The main thing I'm concerned about in terms of this chart is volume has fallen off dramatically, which can't really blame the chart, guys. Up almost 10 times the normal amount of volume for a chart that's literally been asleep for the majority of its life. It's been dead, then all of a sudden super pump, and now volume's falling down. Now, the one thing I will say about this that's not good is volume falling down that much shows a lack of interest and people aren't willing to buy it and to continue seeing it pump higher. I think it could, and because it's a new listing, we've seen charts like this go way higher because they haven't experienced a real bull market. So if things really start to pump, KAIA could follow the trend. I mean, an easy short-term target, or at least a bull top market for a new listing like this would be the 272, which is at 66 cents. So from the current price, that's 330%, but it's already pumped up. How far? 69%, and now it's up 47. So yes, it's overheated in the short term, but the thing that I keep going back to in my theory about this is that it remains above the TBO Cloud. Volume is still outperforming the moving average. Yes, it's cooling down a bit. Yes, on the 4-hour, it doesn't look as exciting anymore. Volume has fallen down a lot, but that's normal after a chart has just went like absolutely ballistic. So I'm going to keep an eye on this still, and I think it can go back up to test the 0.5, even out to the 0.618. AERO continues to perform really well. Note, TBO close shorts back here, back here. We got a nice close here on Friday, up 13%, up on Sunday, yesterday up 5%. But more importantly, I said, we got to see it close above resistance and the 0.5. Now, a wick is not the same as a close, but same story with Maker. Wicking above tells the market, it could probably do it again. So keep an eye on that. Comp, even though this one is chopping quite a bit, it had a nice close yesterday, up 3%, and it was good price action. Yes, it has these TBO close longs on the 4-hour. It's just letting us know if we're in a position right now of profit and we haven't taken any out yet at 32%, here at 30%, here at 26%. It's just a good reminder. It could continue to move up higher. And the good news is that it's above the daily cloud, which means that there's a strong trend still intact. Now, just an update on two charts that had breakouts. Whitebit had a perfect 3-in-a-row breakout that I shared in the Better Traders Club a while ago. I don't even know where Whitebit is, to be honest. I don't even know. Oh, you can get it on Kraken and stuff. Cool. Good for them. Or probably on their own exchange. Yeah, Whitebit. But they had a massive pump yesterday of 30%, which is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. On the 4-hour, there's also a TBO breakout, perfect 3-in-a-row on Saturday, and then did not expect that next pump to happen. Like that's insane. So pretty wild price action for Whitebit. Aave continues to do well. Yesterday, it had a slight pop up 8%, but it held above the daily cloud and it's above the 618. It will make its way to the 786. Patience pays. Now, some not so bullish charts to pay attention to. BNB, it finally retraced back up to the TBO fast line, which is the expected behavior after we see one of these blue diamonds. Like right here, we retraced back up to the fast line and it fell back down. Blue dot, which is a close long, we retraced back up to the fast line, expected behavior. The reality with this chart is that as much as people may love BNB, the reality is that it's still trending bearish. The slow line, which is telling us the macro trend on the daily time frame, is still trending bearish. It's down. So in order for things to really change, BNB has to continue to move up and up and up and go higher in order to curl that moving average up because it's pointing down quite a bit. PP, this one has our two TBO close longs back over here. I'm not sure what that's a circle of. Oh, I know what it is. I'm going to leave it because that's what I wanted to share with you. On the 4-hour time frame, remember this from a while ago? The end of May, the last week of May, all these TBO close longs, I was saying, just be careful, guys, because this could let us know that there should be a reversal coming soon. And even though it did a little bit of a move up, it's fallen down 19%, 25%, came back up, and now it's back down 24%. I know you guys don't like it when I tell you stuff like this, but I'm telling you on purpose so that way you can protect profit. Now, the unfortunate news about Pepe, and I mean, we still have 3 hours left in this candle, but it's printing another TBO breakdown. Usually they're not the bottom. Usually they mean that we should see more downside price action, even though this one absolutely ripped to the upside. But just understand that the chart is very, very weak. Volume itself looks really weak for Pepe. Mantle, this one finished its third TBO breakdown on Sunday, confirmed yesterday on Monday. Again, on-balance volume is strong bearish on this. The price is way below the cloud. The slow line is pointing down. On the 4-hour time frame, it printed another TBO breakdown cluster, just like the one back over here before it dropped another 7% and then 12%. No guarantee it's going to do the same thing, but it is losing support. So the next level of support to look for Mantle is at 54.53. Tau, This one is in process of printing a TBO open short, which confirms, well, it's the last part of the TBO bearish formula, I guess you could say. Close longs, cross down, open short. Similar to that weekly formula that I shared, which again, if you missed that video, you're going to want to watch it because Bitcoin flashed its first sign of this, basically the end of this bull market, in my opinion. On the 4-hour, no other breakdowns to be seen, but it's not a good sign. And we also know that volume has been, on average, falling a lot lower, and on-balance volume is starting to move down. Now, two other charts. Again, we talked about Tron at the beginning, having this, well, not concept, but this idea that it's going to be going public on the stock market. It actually pumped with that news. It pumped up about 7 or 8%, which is wild, but note where it stopped. Stopped right there. TBO resistance. Couldn't even break above it. Couldn't close above it. Wild stuff. Now, it's still an amazingly strong chart. Boring. If you think about the beginning of this year up until now, it's only up 5%. But for people that are stock traders, like that's a great, like this is a bullish chart. From 2024 till now, it's up 152%. Just buying and holding Tron. It's crazy. I still personally don't like Tron. I still just, something about Justin Sun I don't trust. I don't know what it is, but I personally don't buy or hold it or trade it, accumulate. No, don't care. Last but not least, SPX 6900. This one had a nice move up to 170. Unfortunately, though, we can clearly see 174 right here, 172, 170. There is a little bit of price suppression happening for SPX. And we had a red close yesterday, marginally red. But it's clear that the price of SPX is struggling to really continue to push up higher. However, we've seen this same price action before where it gets knocked back down to the fast line and then it really rips. Gets suppressed sideways and then really rips. We still have TBO breakouts here. I'm actually still expecting SPX to continue moving up a lot higher. The other thing to consider is that daily volume yesterday was great. Even Sunday's volume exceeded the moving average. Yesterday was 2 times the moving average. Yeah. So it's still looking good. It's just this sideways chop. Now, we really want to see this happen. We want to see the price push above resistance here at 172 and then for it to rip higher. Note what happened back over here in the end of May. Same thing. Close longs, testing, getting rejected, testing, getting rejected, testing, and then poof, makes a new 50% move. And notice that we're putting in, we haven't broken structure here in terms of these lows. We're getting higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Yes, it's already had an incredible rally. Yes, RSI is starting to fall down. Yes, on-balance volume crossed below the moving average, which is starting to curl downward. But it's also clear that it is struggling with historical resistance, and at the same time, it's super strong bullish on the weekly. So if it has a pullback down to the fast line, so be it. The TBO fast line is currently at 1.30 or $1.30. So just pay attention, be patient, and again, watch the video that's going to pop up right here that talks about why we should be paying attention to Bitcoin. And this is the first ingredient of the TBO bear formula that is already printed weeks ago. So until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.